This is Electric Universe Eyes, and today I just received an email from Montgomery W. Childs from the Safire Project saying, "Dear David, we have great news to share with the progress the Aureon team has been making this year. There will be a new film or video coming out in October which covers the work we did in the business, market, science, and much more. I'm sure you will enjoy. Kind regards," and gave me a link to this PDF that I'm going to narrate as we read it together for the first time. Aureon at the intersection of energy and matter. Titled, The Safire Project Progress Report, 9/28/2023. With Safire 1 and 2, we developed technology that allows us to replicate the processes of the sun and stars in a laboratory on Earth. The technology has repeatedly demonstrated the capability of elemental transmutation in a gas vacuum. Here we see an image inside the reactor chamber of Safire 2. Aureon Energy Ltd. was formed as the vehicle to build commercial applications of Safire's elemental transmutation technology. Legal, finance, and business development strategies were developed. Deep marketplace research was done to determine the best first application of the Safire elemental transmutation technology. The team's strategic path was to build an application for an emerging market that requires the least amount of capital input, has the least competition, and utilizes the greatest leverage of our technology. Remediation of radioactive fracking wastewater was the most obvious application. The executive team completed a comprehensive market and business plan and has established working relationships in the field with oil producers, engineers, scientists, and laboratories who specialize in the handling of this range of radioactive material. We have contracted with a certified industry lab and industry consultants that specialize in analyzing and handling of radioactive fracking wastewater. In daily planning sessions over this year, the science and engineering team has designed a new Safire III Micro-Reactor and created a schedule of experiments that will both refine the efficiency of the reactor and determine the necessary processes for effectively transmuting and rendering benign the radioactive elements found in fracking wastewater. For many reasons, the current Safire lab was not appropriate for the upcoming work. A new lab was required. Buying a building for a lab anywhere in or near Toronto would cost millions of dollars. Leasing has also become exorbitantly expensive. Should investment dollars go into buying real estate or into the next Safire experiments? CEO John McMahon and founder Montgomery Childs came up with a solution. John found two brand new prefabricated buildings that could be purchased at a considerable discount. Montgomery and Tracy Childs live on a 100-acre property. They volunteered a location to put up the buildings, the new Safire labs. That's super cool. The Safire 2 lab in Toronto is being dismantled and moved to the new permanent location. The prefab buildings have been purchased and are already on site. The new building location has been cleared. The ground has been graded. Building pads have been constructed. Forms for concrete are being completed. Pouring the concrete and erecting the buildings have both been scheduled. A temporary lab and workshop was set up so the work can continue while the buildings are being erected. The temporary lab has expanded the functionality and capabilities of the original Safire 2 lab. The Safire team at the new location in the temporary workshop. The Safire 3 design and build was completed. A number of Safire III Micro-Reactor prototypes were designed, built, and successfully tested. 19 experiments were performed in the first week. Material tests and studies were done with different solutions, different electrolytes, different metals and how they react with each other, different voltages and currents to see what effect these factors would have. Throughout the experiments, we are measuring these factors: current, voltage, temperature inside and out, pressure, and time, using the design of experiments to precisely map and understand the variables. Feasibility tests were completed. Failure mode tests were completed. Post-experimental materials tests are ongoing. It is not just the chemicals, the gases or liquids we put into the reactor. The actual materials the reactor is made of are part of the proprietary transmutation effect of the process. So the reactor build itself is constantly being refined. We are employing new technologies such as Aureon and Graphona for data acquisition and analysis. This speeds up the process 100-fold from what was available when we were working with the original Safire reactors. We discovered that small changes in chemistry and electricity will cause major changes in the way the reactor behaves, and efficiently produces plasma, which is a known promoter of elemental transmutation. This is good. Using the design of experiments methodology, we are refining those small changes to get large results. We determined the necessary factors required to run the reactor in steady state, meaning continually, controllably, and safely. Procedures and protocols for handling radioactive fracking water are being created and tested. An off-site secure server system has been built. All data generated from the lab is routed directly to this server. The team members access and work with the data on the server using passwords. No data is ever kept on personal computers. The data on this server is continually backed up at a separate, equally secure location. Detailed security protocols have been established for handling data and for communications with the public and media. It's difficult to scale something down and miniaturize it. Safire III is a miniature version of Safire II, which successfully proves the scalability of the original design. In the last few weeks, the team has completed the development of a robust and effective micro-reactor design on which to base the build of the commercial prototype for remediating the radioactive materials in fracking wastewater. The Safire Project Progress Report 9/28/23, copyright Aureon Energy Ltd. Please don't sue me, I'm just the messenger. For more information, please visit www.aureon.ca.